Hi there. My name is Ted Smith, and I am here to talk to you about transcending the trauma of childhood sexual abuse. I am someone who experienced sexual abuse in my childhood, and I'll speak with you about that in this video. And I want you to know that if you are someone who has also experienced sexual abuse in your childhood, um, I'm here to tell you that it is possible to fully transcend that trauma, to fully let go of it, and for it to not be something that holds you back or has any sort of power over you going forward. It is possible. My experience with childhood sexual abuse happened when I was 9 years old. And it was an event, an isolated incident that my mind repressed and caused me to forget for nearly 30 years. And as of the date of this video, it was about a year ago when I had a bodywork session done with a phenomenal practitioner who's so good at what he does, who specializes in releasing trauma from the body. Because what happens is when we don't when we have something traumatic happen and we don't know how to deal with it or process it or feel the emotions associated with it, it becomes too much and we tend to repress or shove down the experience, and that's exactly what happened to me. Within a few minutes of this bodywork session, I was having these flashes of a memory come back to me from when I was 9 years old and being raped by an adult man. And as these flashes were coming in, I didn't know if I was imagining it, making it up. Um, but the way it came in and the way I understood and some validation and evidence that I collected later, all pointed to assuring me that this did in fact happen. That, because it was repressed and something I had forgotten about, and because I was getting just like momentary flashes of memory, I wasn't sure at the time if it happened. And that is a very common thing for people who have experienced abuse, is kind of blacking it out and forgetting about it, and then it comes back in flashes. And it can be kind of hard to make sense of. So that's something that I very much experienced myself. Um, but long story short, what I've collected and what I've understood is that this did in fact happen. And equally as traumatic as the rape itself was the memory of the feeling or the belief that I couldn't tell anyone. I don't know if it's something that he threatened me not to tell anyone or if it was just a decision that I made at 9 years old. But ultimately I decided not to tell anyone. And that's a whole lot for a 9-year-old to keep and hold for himself. And so that's what caused my mind to suppress the memory. And this was a lot for me to see and to remember. And at the same time, the awareness that I got it was like all the healing that I had done for the 5 years leading up to this bodywork session it's like it all led to this moment where I had established a safe place for my inner child to come to me as the adult, to share anything that he was thinking or feeling, and that I wouldn't judge him or criticize him or, get mad at him for speaking up. And ultimately, he felt safe enough to finally reveal the thing that I chose to, suppress and shove down and forget about. And as physically painful as that bodywork session was, he worked on my shoulder here in the back, mostly, and it was quite painful. But even through that blinding pain, I had this awareness that like all of my healing had led to this moment, and it was this profound experience of like I'm ready to hold this now. Like I'm okay. And even though it was a lot to see and to remember, it didn't re-traumatize me. It was not too much for me. It was something that my body and my mind were ready to reveal to me because I was ready to hold it. And that was such a profound win for me on my healing journey, to be able to see and witness what I was seeing and witnessing without being re-traumatized by it. So in the months that followed, I did a lot of breath work. I had a lot of healing, a lot of grieving to do. Um, but even throughout all of it, like it never was something that was too much for me. It was never something that held me back. If anything, I felt empowered by the revelation because it showed me how far I'd come on my healing journey. And it's like I was ready for anything at that point, and that was really freaking cool. And I'm not saying that it was all rainbows and unicorns by any means. There was a lot of really heavy and intense emotions and feelings of grief that came up. But even as I was moving through those tears and moving through the pain and, you know, confronting my relationship with God, like all the things, simultaneously as those things were happen, I just knew that like I'm okay and I'm gonna be okay. And um really even more so just deepening my relationship, my connection with my inner child and with myself. Um to, really, really love myself and appreciate myself and allow myself to just come as I am and experience all that I was experiencing without judgment, without repression, and without a filter, just coming as I am and being truly myself. And this revelation helped me understand so much more of myself on a deeper level. Like I said, I'd been on a healing journey for about 5 years up until that point, and so I had already had a lot of self-awareness, of other things that had happened in my childhood and the beliefs that I created about myself, about my worthiness, about, feeling my emotions, the safety to speak up, and that sort of thing. And but this really showed me like just how clearly why I shut down emotionally and began to rely solely on my mind to survive. Like I really closed myself off from feeling, because I had seen that feeling was too much, too overwhelming, and I needed to just shut off that part of myself. It explained why I chose to shrink back and not be seen. I became a very quiet and reserved person. And it's because I didn't want to draw attention to myself, including for any wins or joys or fun I was having. I needed to not be seen because what that event showed me or taught me was that being seen isn't safe. If I'm, on somebody's radar, bad things might happen and I might get really hurt. It explained why I stopped having fun and allowing myself to be a kid. Like I grew up really quick after that, and it kind of it stifled that childlike wonder and fun and joy that I had up until that point. And it also explained why on my healing journey, safety has been such an important recurring theme for me. And I didn't fully understand that, but I had found over the last few years that like feeling safe with myself and with other people, is really, really important. And it's something that I'm so grateful for with my partnership now, where I feel safe with him in all aspects of our lives. And which is a great reflection of, how safe I feel with myself, and also ties to what I said before around, establishing that safe environment with myself that allowed this repressed memory to come to the surface. So, why am I sharing this publicly? Why am I recording this video? Many reasons. Um, I really want to help people with this. I want to be a voice. And I'm seeing, I've been seeing just how common childhood sexual abuse is, whether done by adults or done by other children. And it's something that not a lot of people talk about. Um, I shared this publicly on social media recently, and the response I got and some of the private messages I received just affirmed this awareness that I have that it is really common and that a lot of people don't talk about it. And it's this really private thing, and understandably so. Like it's a big thing. And I waited a year to share publicly, because even though I felt really solid in myself, I wanted to feel even more solid in myself and heal and move through the grief and move through the trauma and release that from my body, before I felt ready to share it with my family and then to share it publicly. And I know that a lot of people who have the awareness of the abuse that they experienced, they don't have the tools that I am so grateful that I had. Some people, their minds maybe don't repress the whole thing and they remember the entire event, or they remember bits and pieces, and they didn't repress the whole thing. And so they carry that with them into their adulthood. And speaking from experience, like that is a whole lot to hold on to. And I'm very grateful and fortunate that it was revealed to me at a time where I was ready and able to hold it without being re-traumatized. And I know that's not the case for everyone. Um, and so for me, I want to be an example for people as someone that you can look at and see that it is possible to fully transcend your trauma. It is not something that you have to carry with you for the rest of your life as something that holds you back or that has power over you. Um, it will always be something that has happened in your life, but it doesn't have to continue to have that negative impact on you. In fact, I believe, at least for me, that this happened for a reason. And it is showing me where, like, now as an adult, I have so much power in me that I didn't realize I had. The power of my self love, the power of my ability to heal myself, um, is a lot. And if you're someone who's experienced this too, like you have that much power as well. Like our inner power is so profound, beyond what our mind can ever understand. And I want you to know that the power that you have within you allows you to fully transcend the trauma that's happened in your life, whether it's, sexual abuse or other kinds of trauma as well. I'm also aware that there are other layers and complexities that come in depending on the frequency and the extent of abuse. So for me, this was an isolated incident with a man who I had never met and who I never saw again. And I can imagine the layered elements of trauma that can happen when it happens on multiple occasions, and or if it's done by someone that you loved and trusted and initially felt safe with. um those are those are important factors to keep in consideration, and I very much can see where that may cause the trauma to be more intense. But even still, no matter how horrific or painful or deeply ingrained your trauma is, you are more powerful than all of that. And I know that if it's true for me, it's true for you, that you are capable of having an incredible life that may be far beyond what you're thinking is possible right now. For myself, I am happier and more peaceful than I have ever felt. I feel more solid and stable in myself than ever. I'm able to freely express and feel my emotions. That was something that was suppressed for a really long time. And this revelation and the months of healing that followed really allowed me to crack open. My heart like just really broke open, and I'm able to, cry more freely and express myself in a way that I hadn't been able to do before. And I feel that safety and solidness within myself more than I ever have. And with that has come this ability and willingness and desire to have more fun and have more joy, and life just feels really, really good for me at this moment. And I know I'm fully confident that it's only going to keep getting better. Like no matter what happens in my life, I know that I am good. I have a solid, stable, loving, safe relationship with myself, that it does not matter what's happening around me. I'm good. And with that comes a really solid foundation for me to build upon to experience the love and the joy and the connection and the abundance and all the things that I would love for every human being on earth to experience. The negative impacts of trauma do not have to stay with us forever. We have the ability to transform it into something amazing and spectacular if we want to. And I know from personal experience that the process of that can be messy and uncomfortable, and a whole lot of different kinds of challenges come with that. But I'm here to tell you that choosing to face yourself and go through that transformation is so worth it. So if you're someone who's been on a healing journey and healing from your trauma for a while now, but that trauma seems to keep coming back to haunt you, seems to keep holding you back, seems to keep having power over you, I want you to know that it's possible to clear it from your system once and for all. And if you, in watching this video, have felt a connection with me, with my story, and with my energy, and you want to know how I can help you transcend your trauma, send me a message. I have done it myself. I'm 90+% on the other side of it in my own journey. I have helped my clients move beyond and heal their trauma, and I can help you too. I'm certified in hypnotherapy, which has been an immensely powerful tool for me to get into my body, to trace back the memories that I've had, not only about the rape, but several other childhood traumas that I experienced. And I'm also trained in facilitating breath work for clients, which is another modality that helps you get into your body and to release emotions and energy from your body through your breath. I would love to connect with you to understand if there's ways that I can help. I know for a fact that it is possible for you to feel greater peace, greater love, greater joy, greater trust in yourself, and a next level of freedom that will blow your mind. And you are worth all of that and then some. Thank you for listening, and I'm sending you so much love.